Hi, Shiralee.
Morning, Collette.
So we're just coming together today because we got together in the week. You reached out because actually you couldn't get hold of David Bingham. So I was your second choice. And we had a lovely conversation. Um, it was just a 30-minute catch up, and you just wanted some clarity on your where you are, what's been recognized, and if that was it. And we had such a lovely conversation that I invited you to come on my channel. We had such a lovely connection, didn't we? It was such a backwards and forwards.
It was an energetic, like a tennis.
It was, yeah.
I think it was very light-hearted, and I can't even remember now but we talked a lot of things.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the process of talking with you, and I think things have catapulted, or whatever that is, that sense of, I don't know, please, words come to me. Effortless being.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah.
is it's like that. There's been more joy since talking with you. Um, there've been amazing synchronicities to do with listening to videos. Oh, one thing I wanted to share, was I started listening to videos today, and I put them. It never occurred to me before, but I put them up on a high speed. Right, so instead of one, I went up to 125 or
Hmm.
even 150.
Wow.
So, and I kept getting that the universe is fast. It loves the speed.
Oh,
The
wow.
speed suits. I
So,
before, when it was slow, normal, it was just often not yet often, and it just didn't feel right. I think
so
my perception or something
yeah, yeah.
just, yeah.
So do you feel like you're listening to the words when you're watching a video? Do you feel like are you getting knowledge or are you tuning into I'm just waiting for the right words. A resonance. Are you not gaining, are you accessing a field of information somehow? And so it's sort of being remembered rather than retained and captured.
um, it's going, this is it. I want you to see this. I want you to
Ah,
see
ah,
this.
okay.
I want you to see, it's a,
Yeah,
it's a, it's a, and I'm getting all, what do you call that? Tingles all over my body. It's,
yeah, yeah.
I, I feel like the true nature and me, we got a thing going on. It's sort of worked out, and I've worked out how we can be. There's something,
Yeah, operate.
it's like a, yes, somehow now, see, you and I, we talked about that thing of the uniqueness of each of us.
Yes, each
Yes,
expression. Yeah.
yes, and I thought I had to be and listen like it was presented, but my unique expression, it's not because it's in a hurry, but it's something about me, or this expression is speed. It was like lapping it up. It was, but not,
Slipstream.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it was
Yeah.
just more on fire. But it's not. And occasionally I would write something down because it was like, oh my god, and I thought to myself, I must tell Collette.
Oh, bless you. I know what you mean. There's like an insight or a connection, or you get something, and I don't mean get as in It's just, it's aligned. And you're like, oh, that's what it is. It's like you have these mini recognitions, these mini revelations of things that maybe you didn't quite get, and now they're being revealed, and it's so exciting. Well, that's how I
But
see it.
it's in sync, yeah, and it's in sync with me, and I'm not having to tone myself down
Beautiful.
to what would be considered normal, I suppose. But a few weeks ago, I listened to a little short that Amanda, do you know
Amanda Tweed.
Amanda?
Amanda Tweed?
She had a cute little short, and she was doing this, and there was this music, and it was step by step,
Oh,
and
cute.
it was of a person, Whitney Houston, doing a song called Step by Step, and I'd never heard it before. It said, "Infinite being reveals itself step by step."
Oh, wow, wonderful. Infinite, you cut out then, but so you're saying infinite being reveals itself step by step.
Yes. So can you see it would already set me up? And I was
Yeah.
just in
To
love with
cue
this song.
that
So
bit. Yeah, yeah,
there seems to be synchronicity and magic, Colette. That's
definitely.
what's
Yeah,
happening.
yeah, yeah. Yes. There's a different way of operating that we're not
Yeah.
aware of.
And it's already exponentially since we spoke.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
talking with you and listening is like the dam
Mhm.
that, that somebody took the dam things off or
Yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah. So what I got, as soon as you spoke earlier, I got slipstream. It's as if now you're in the slipstream. Now you're just free to experience and create and pull all these things from different areas that are coming to you. You're just grabbing them and using them. It's that's what I feel.
Absolutely. You just hit it, and I just feeling all tingles all through my body as you say that. And what it's done, it's given me permission to be there talking with you. It's like there was part of the old paradigm was saying, you're not good enough. And
Oh,
and
yeah.
today as I was walking, I walked to the shop, and I was aware of the miserable thought that said, "Oh, you can't do it. You're not good enough."
Oh,
This type of thing, and I saw it.
yeah, yeah.
And there was like a release.
Oh, beautiful.
It's, that today was I call that a miracle because it was an upsetting uh, paradigm. It was an upsetting thought stream. That type
You've
of thing.
seen through it.
Yes,
Yeah,
and it might come again. I don't know, but I'm seem to be able to see it,
yeah.
and I don't have to dance with it.
Yes, that seems to be what happens. It's the conditioning is that it's still being played out, still being offered, but there's just the seeing of it, and in the seeing of it, it dies. It's only if we go towards it, we start to energize it again, and those patterns are reinforced. And all it is a way that life has been experiencing itself. This is how I see it. It's the way life has been experiencing itself over and over again. So these patterns have seemed to form and they're recognized as a mode of operation, but you don't need to pick that up anymore. What you've recognized is you are the space in which they're appearing. So now there's just the seeing of them.
Even that, I would happily, it's incredible. Yeah.
Beautiful. But I mean, we didn't really do very much. I can't say that you came and you just explained. We just shared where you were. Maybe we should talk a little bit about the history of of Shiralee. Um, Obviously, what you are has never changed, never moved. You pointed that out. You noticed the stillness, and there's a place of no movement, that what we fundamentally are can't really be spoken about. But has this been how long do you feel like it's been this slow unfolding for you? Like you mentioned, step by step. Was there ever a lot of people look for a shift, and I'm just wondering, it's so nice to share everybody's different journeys. So because life's journeying uniquely through us all, so people tend to think it's got to be a certain way. So it's quite nice to share how it's unfolded for you.
I would love to say, and it was, there was, although I've been looking for this place, I would say since I was 12,
Wow.
maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, I had a relationship that suddenly disintegrated, and my mind, I sort of got lost the plot a bit. My
Mm.
mind went, uh, couldn't understand, couldn't work it out, could not work it out. And um, something then fell away because I then, when I didn't think, I suddenly didn't think, and there was peace.
Great. Yeah.
So I think that point there was the death knell
Yeah.
of what it couldn't get. It's sort of likened a little bit to Eckhart Tolle, where he had that really bad. I mean, but the awakening wasn't big the later on, but I think that tiny switch
There was a point
from,
there. Yeah.
and then each time the hell would start, the thoughts would start trying to find an answer. I just go back, back to being. And I had practiced being for many years with one of my teachers, which was very long. Yeah, but then so I had the body had that resource. It
Yes.
knew that place.
Familiar.
So that's yes, but it was a complete disaster. But I know that I'm grateful for that disaster
Quite often it
because
happens
that,
through something like that. Yeah. Sorry, we've
um,
got a time delay, so it's tricky for me to know when you've finished and you haven't finished and I speak. So for the audience and for yourself, sorry if I'm butting in.
I love it. Don't worry.
We did that on our call before and we found it quite funny. But I know for people that listen, it can be a bit annoying. So just to explain why it's particularly bad, I do it anyway, but it's quite hard with the gaps in between. But you go on, you carry on. I think so I said you carry on and now I'm speaking. It's just how life unfolds. It's so funny. Um, so there can be often be a point of I'm just waiting for the right words. A point of surrender. I know mine was a point of surrender, so it's very different to how the mind feels that's giving up and it's awful, and it views surrender. I actually find it quite hard to work out what the mind thinks surrender is because it's always been quite beautiful to me to surrender. And what I mean by surrender is almost letting go of the limitation of what you are and remembering what you are. So do you see how the mind was limiting you? You couldn't work out something, and then the letting go of the of how the mind couldn't work something out. What what was revealed is what you are, or remembering.
Yes, and it was just easy and nothing there, and that I think was one of the pivotal wake ups.
Yeah.
I think we were talking about surrender the other day because I said, I remember that I had been seeking since I was 12 with different teachers and masters and things. And then very recently, I just gave up the whole thing. I thought,
Yeah, that's what I did
no,
too. It's the same thing.
just
Yeah.
I'm just going to enjoy my life. I'll just pat the cat. I'll do the
Yeah.
gardening, and
Do you feel it's the seeker
and
that drops then? The seeker, the one that's seeking almost is exhausted?
yeah, it must be. It must be. Yeah, it's
Because
like the
that,
identity. It's that same thing of trying to get it, trying to
yeah,
listen, trying to, and then something must have just given up. It's
yeah.
like I can't remember what actually happened. I just know. So I thought, bugger that. It's like
So, so that came
yeah,
after the relationship thing where your mind just couldn't work something out. It just, and then there was the recognition of just peace when we're not engaged with the mind. So did the giving up of seeking or surrendering or spontaneous um, dropping away of the that grasping energy of needing to get something, did that happen afterwards then? Was there a gap?
yeah, a few years because I was also then Byron Katie. I started listening to women teachers.
Hmm.
I felt like it was a necessary bridge, but it was more out of enjoyment and not,
I see. Yeah, yeah,
Byron Katie has this one, A Thousand Names for Joy,
yeah,
things that were beautiful, I think I
yeah.
was focusing on.
So for me, I would say that's the resonance of this, how it was experienced for myself. Um, Listening in that way, it's more
Yeah,
about the resonance rather than a mind wanting to get something. It's more about just the being in the field.
yes, exactly. And beauty and music. I played a lot. Oh, and dancing. I tried to. I think I was just focusing that my own day to day was
Perfect.
is enjoyable.
Which is exactly
Enjoyable.
what, yeah, that's exactly what David Bingham says to do. Just make your days the most enjoyable. Just, what feels good now. We've got lots of things to do, but actually, what would be that? Where would we move forward if we were just choosing what feels light and easy?
And that seems ridiculous now that you to even have to come to that. But
I
that's
know, I know. Can you see how we've been conditioned to strive and to grasp and to got to, shoulds and shouldn't?
and I've been a workaholic, and my son still calls me a workaholic. But
Wow.
I love what I love. I love gardening. I love keeping taking care of my home and cooking and all. But he's
Simple
still.
pleasures. So are
Um,
you cutting out? So would you say that's effortless for you, looking after your garden and cleaning the
oh
house?
yeah,
Yeah.
and
I think.
and and something that how David talks about things just happen in that
Hmm.
sense when there's some peace there. I had been wanting to build a veranda here since I moved here, and suddenly, and I'd got so many quotes, and they were outrageous, and I couldn't afford the quotes. And then suddenly, I met somebody at the community garden centre, and he said, "Oh, I could do it for this amount," and I had exactly that amount,
Oh.
and it was like it was a miracle.
It
2 weeks. That's the synchronicity, meeting people.
is.
Like he said, life comes to you when you sort of, I suppose, yeah, yeah.
When we're open, maybe.
That
When we're open to receive.
yes, because before the other character was interested, wanting to get a veranda, I suppose, and
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
yeah. I get it's a different sort of energy. It's a grasping. It's a little bit. I'm not saying you were needy, but it's got that neediness to it. Oh, I really want that, rather than oh, wouldn't that be lovely? This sort of leaning in and this opening to, gosh, how wonderful would it be to have a veranda that I could just sit on? It's more of just resonating at how you would feel if you had the veranda, rather than feeling like you need a veranda. Would you say it was that?
Yes, and the yeah, and the result is the breezes are beautiful and the view, and it's just
Oh,
made
oh, how
but the
wonderful.
synchronicity of the amount of money. And the guy was really amazing too. He was just about to retire, and he's half German, and I speak German, and no, he's German, and I'm half German, and we just used to have a lot of fun with speaking German, and yeah, it was really good.
Again, it's just life enjoying itself, just effortless being, just in the moment, just unfolding. I mean, it's so obvious, but we miss it because we've got a different the the conditioned self has a different way of operating, and it does for me, it's taken time to let go of that one that feels like it's got to control and feels like it's the doer. Those two things sort of wear themselves out.
It's lovely that they do.
It is, but the mind has this fear of, well, you can't just do nothing. At the moment for me, I'm really quiet. I've got my two groups, and I just had half an hour with you a week. My mind wants to say, how are you going to pay the bills with three calls in a week? How on earth are you going to pay the bills? And I'm just like, you have to get used to just being okay, that it's going to take care of it, how it's going to unfold. And I know that's very, very difficult if somebody's got a family and they've got children relying on them. And of course, you don't give up your job. But there comes a point where it's not trust. It's just, again,
But
it's
you
that
could give up.
surrendering.
You
Oh, yeah,
could
you
give
can
up
do.
your job
Yeah, yeah, you can do.
because
Just,
because I think you see you just said something then, and I thought I'm disagreeing with you there
okay, good.
because
Yeah, yeah.
you're bringing in like a concept of other not somebody else, and that's sort of like then you're saying um, I don't think that helps yourself when you because it's like the mind is saying
It's adding in something.
other people. So you're very justified to wonder where the heck is the money coming from, woman? You're not up to scratch. It's a back. I reckon. I just saw a little thing there. I don't know
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you.
please. Yeah, yeah. I'm very open to any. But this is a backward and forwards. There's no hierarchy here. I'm completely open to anything you say.
Yeah, no. I think this comes from. I told you I did the psychic readings for a
I know
while,
I was going to bring
and
that up. Yeah, brilliant.
and when you have those, you're sort of given permission to sort of say what you see because the person is opening up to you, yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like you see a little thing where something's not true,
Yeah. I was
you know.
trying to not what I was doing, but I think you're on the right track. But I was also trying to, I'm on a public channel. I didn't want to say to everybody, give up your job. Can sit here and I was trying to be responsible. But
Well,
also,
I can be the irresponsible one.
perfect. We've got all bases covered. You can be the slipstream, and I can be the one. Okay, there's two options here. It's completely up to you how you feel. If you feel like that it's okay to
but,
rest in not knowing, oh, that feels good.
but just intuition, trust your intuition.
Oh, I just got a lovely insight that it's okay to rest in not knowing.
Yeah, it's 'cause all the little stories, when you listen to David and all the other people there's all these little stories of the unexpected, of money
Yes,
coming at the perfect time,
when we're not
of
when we're not restricting it, when we're completely open. Oh gosh, I got a real head spin. So I get
yeah,
okay. So we're on
I
to
can really
something
feel.
here.
What was that?
I got a real head spin, and I get that when it's an indication that there's truth. That we're touching truth here. Obviously, the whole conversation is, but there's something here we're uncovering.
Yeah, there was a tiny little, what do they call it? A grain of sand, the in the in the pearl or
Oh,
something.
oh, beautiful. Yeah.
It just washed it away. The ocean, whoo, washed away.
Life is loving this conversation. It's just, life is very easy when we let it. It's very open and flowing. It's very,
And I've always felt like that I'm a little bit odd, and life's telling me it likes it. It
yeah,
likes my different way of seeing things.
yeah. I just saw you, you just, you were taking a few things out of box and then you went stuff it and you just tipped it upside down. And it's a bit like you're here to throw things out. You're here to just break the mold. Just what the hell? Just let's not do things half. Let's just throw it all out. Let's just
Oh, wild. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Total freedom. Just wild abandonment. Just do it.
And I just thought I do want to mention because this might help other people too. I went to sleep one night and I was taken to that place where it said thoughts are things. It was like a big factory
Oh
and it
wow.
showed
Okay.
me, and this was long before The Secret. And we didn't have mobile phones then, but
Hmm.
I was reading Louise Hay's book, um, You Can Heal Your Life.
Hmm.
And I was living in pretty rotten situation. Um, I was a carer for my partner who was in a wheelchair, and it was a very difficult. He was over 6 foot. I'm only 5 foot two. Anyway, it was not a very good living circumstance.
Challenging.
But
Yeah.
he's since died, so it's okay for me to say this. But um, I started to feel something shifted one day when I had a phone call, and I felt like I was going to win. I was going to win, and I was a winner, and I started being intensely grateful for
Oh,
everything. And it was a complete, it was a sort of, or as a mantra, to be grateful for what? For your lousy circumstances. But then it was run by a charity, and I won first prize. Now, the thing is, that changed my life. I won a car as well, and I won enough to buy my first home. And
wow.
then, though, what happened? I sort of dropped that. I dropped the whole manifesting, but I've now, because of David and because of Rhonda, I'm picking it up again
Ah,
because I
okay.
can see it's I create, not Shiralee.
So the
I am.
let's just feel into that and clarify for people. It's the universal I. So when we say I, it's the whole universe vibrating. The power of the
Yes,
universe, the creative
yes,
force of the universe.
pure creativity, pure potential,
Oh
and
yeah.
even my work denigrated, but it's just unlimited, eh, the potential for everything. And I've just realized, I think I felt a bit guilty because I had been given so much.
Yeah.
And I thought it's not right of me to
So that's the
go for
mind
more.
limiting conditioning, because of course you could
Yeah.
have just got more and given it away. But we don't think in those terms. We're thinking, oh, I've got too much. I shouldn't have it. Da, da, da. And then so I wonder if there's something you could share with people of how you feel that tapping into the pure potential of infinite being and being open to receive. Are there any other pointers you could offer people who are maybe looking at this
I
way of
think if you're in a situation that that's not optimal, just to feel the gratitude. I think the secret says all this because I then have since listened to it, but
Yeah.
it's that feeling that you have it. You can't feel
Already have it.
like you're without. Yeah.
So a little
And
bit like your veranda. Like you either went from needing a veranda to just feeling like, oh, what would it be like to be on the veranda? Oh, it would be delicious. It would be, so you're feeling it. Is that right?
yes, and that, yeah, and that it's also, I think you mentioned the other day too, at the heart. The heart has to be,
That's interesting.
um,
That's where the gratitude isn't it? Felt in the heart center.
I think so.
Yeah, for me,
Yeah.
gratitude is like this, just this opening to receive gratitude is, and then there's more gratitude and then more.
Yes. Oh, I just lost something. But anyway, you can bring. I can't remember what I was going to say, but that's okay.
We can circle back around. I think this is really interesting. I feel like that's potentially something you're going to be doing, helping people with
Oh,
the with the
Colette, I love
manifesting.
you because that's what I wanted to say. I had an intimation that I might become someone who can show people how to do it.
And also,
I
it's
just,
it's, it's
yeah,
tying
go
in
on.
with how we were just talking about. It's a beautiful dance. I can see it now. It's tying in with how you. Oh God, it's gone. So funny when you see something and then it flies away again. Something we'll come back round to it. It'll come back round. But I've written a circle and done these arrows, knowing that this is what you're to do. That's why I sort of wanted you to share some of it here. Oh, I know it's come back. So we were talking about that point where effortless being, and then we've got the mortgage to pay for, we've got the kids shoes, we've got dinner to be on the table. So there's that old paradigm of that got to get. We're limited and we've got to get as much as we can and hold on to it. And then there's this other paradigm of that we're infinite being and that we're in the field of pure potential and everything will come to us. You're sort of like that bridge between the two. Because how do we're going to still be limiting ourselves, even if we recognize the truth of our being, but if we're still picking up that paradigm of how on earth do I go from here to here? How do I get out of my stressful job and that feeling like I've got to do stuff to be able to be in this slipstream, to be in this, and I feel like you're the bridge for that.
And it's funny, I just love what you're saying. And you know that song, Step by Step? It starts off with, there's a bridge. So, see,
Beautiful.
infinite intelligence, infinite being knows everything, uses everything.
Well, it is everything, isn't it? It's not apart from us, but we limit it.
No, I'm so great. I want to say effing grateful. I just wanted to swear then, but um, but I feel really blessed, and that's okay. And I've also started. I used to be, an artist and an art teacher, and I started
Right.
working on a self portrait that I'd started years ago. And just as I saw that thing, what because David uses a term, the demiurge,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I had to look it up, and it said that it's the antithesis, or it's an antagonism against, you know, what, infinite being.
Hmm.
It's and I think I can see this portrait. God, it's just over there. That I of course called it the demiurge.
Oh
Just
wow.
saw because it's got this intense stare, and I just saw it. It just got me. You're the demiurge. That's the demiurge. A portrait of the demiurge.
Wow.
Anyway,
Wow. That's
Oh,
interesting. See how that's going to unfold. So you were doing some, you at one point, what age were you when you were doing the telephone calls, the psychic, was it psychic readings you were doing?
I did want to tell you about that. When I started, I had been doing it from my 20s. I met a card reader. He was a gypsy, and we used to go traveling. And I was in my 20s. I'm 64 now. I don't know if I'd told you that. But, and then I started doing music shows and things like that. I learnt the cards, but
Oh,
I would
right.
always have a person in front of me, a
Yeah.
physical,
Yeah.
yeah. And, and then I paid my way through university doing readings.
Wow.
And then and then I became a teacher and all that changed. But then when that thing came, the COVID, and we all had to stay home, I contacted some psychic phone companies, and I thought I'd try it because I wasn't sure if I could read a person just from the
Yeah.
phone.
Hmm.
Because some readers refuse to do that because they think something wrong. But for me, it was even better. I could see. So, but yeah, that was hard work in a way too, because I'm a single mum, my child, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. You have to concentrate. Yeah.
yeah. And then I think I said suddenly I just stopped it. So I only stopped that about a year and a half ago.
Hmm.
Um, and I think it was to make room and not to do anything I don't want to do
Yes. Yes.
anymore.
So it served its purpose, but it's no longer serving you. And I think we tend to keep going with something that's not serving us, is not beneficial anymore. We tend to hold on to them and feel like, and then limit what else is available. And you felt that you gave yourself some time just for you after all that giving.
Just in a relaxed mode of being in the
Yeah.
garden, which I love, on the veranda.
Effortless
I love
being.
I love cook. Yes, yes. Playing with the cats, Yeah, and giving up relationships um, that don't serve me anymore. I'm just not struggling anymore. I just something in me, and if there's ever any tension, I just can't go there. It's like something automatically stops me. Um, do you have that too?
Yeah.
Do you have that your radar's on now? If you overdo or overgive or
Yeah. It's just that, and whenever there's any efforting, you just see it. It feels like a contraction and you just drop it. I think you were also mentioning how you can be saying something and then you just get cut off because I have that. You can be sort of almost starting to go towards the conditioning and then the words drop away because they're no
yeah,
longer serving you. They're not right for the moment.
absolutely. And the moment wants authenticity,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it wants you to be really honest about what's there. And it
yeah.
doesn't matter apparently if you take half an hour to find the word.
No, no, no. I love that when people take a long time to find their words. I mean, obviously, I love it when they're spontaneously expressing as well. I think it gives us all permission just to rest in being.
How true that is. Oh my goodness. That's beautiful.
Yeah. And the old op way of operating is we'd be trying to fill in the word for them and we'd be desperately trying to fill that void. But actually it's an invitation to just be.
I really appreciate you said that because I can still see the demiurge going, oh, you better hurry up and find that word. You better hurry up and, you know,
Yeah. There's the old conditioned way of operating.
push, push the poor poor person. Wow.
You see, we could have gone with the formula for the call, but we just decided to let it unfold.
That's what I was just thinking. See, you get telepathic, or you get in the same place. Like
Yeah.
you do hear people's thoughts. It's just because you're in the same place.
Well, potentially you do because that's you have that ability, the clairaudient ability potentially.
You just said what I was thinking, that
Oh, so
we
maybe I've
didn't
got
know
it then.
we didn't know where this conversation was going. We weren't going to have a formula. No lunch, no lunch provided or anything, was there?
No set plans. Ah, delicious. Just a rest in being.
It's lovely and quiet.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. It cut out.
It's lovely and quiet.
Yeah. I feel more and more, I feel relaxation is so important for us, for our energetic systems, for us to recognize what we are and also to embody that for the human experience. I feel like relaxation is such an important part. It's like a healing for the physical, for life experiencing itself through the physical form. And we've become that, caffeine and striving and so it's we're limiting the physical form through that push, push, push. It's as if there's channels that'll open up when we're what's coming when we're in deep relaxation. So it's not that we don't do anything. It's just the doing is done from being from relaxation and it's effortless.
And it gives wisdom. When I used to do the readings, it gave me permission to go deep.
That's interesting.
Like,
I wonder what you were doing there. Is there any way you could explain what was happening? Because I feel like it's relevant.
um, so I just would go into being
Yeah.
and usually close my, because I'm on the phone, so it doesn't matter.
Hmm.
And I would just then look inside into the void there, and this, I suppose, I would ask, or and I would get them to ask your question,
Hmm.
and then there would be an answer. But I also had particular love of when somebody's child or partner had died, and they'd ask what happened there, and I was able to go there and I could say. But I used some cards also. It's a type of a French card called the Lenormand. So I'd
Okay.
use the imagery. Can I tell you what I picked
Yes, of
up?
course. Yeah, I'm
Something.
open to it. Yeah.
No, as I said, I sort of can see like the little errors or something. I can see a
Yeah,
little
definitely.
error.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But when you said, "Oh, I've only got this many readings," and something said to me just straight after, "Oh, collaboration's coming."
Okay. Great. I
That's
feel like it is creating a space for something new. I feel like it all winding down is creating a space for something new to come in.
I don't know about that, but it said to me, she'll have a collaboration.
Okay.
That's all I got, but that it'll be enough for when somebody says to you, "Let's
Yeah.
do something." on another channel, or um,
I've
so
had somebody reach out with who's put together three other ladies. So three ladies and then myself. We don't know what we're going to do. I've been invited to that. So that's one thing that's shown up. Nobody knows what we're going to do, but then there was stuff coming up and we were pulling it all together, a little bit like we are talking about you in the slipstream, just pulling things as they come up and creating from pulling things out of the air.
mm. And even if it doesn't go very far, something, infinite intelligence or whatever they call this thing, will show you. It might say, "Well, that wasn't quite it," but it show you what more you feel good with, or more ease. If it
So
seems too difficult
yeah,
to
at
to
the
create,
moment it feels neutral and I feel open to it. So I'm like, okay, yeah, yeah, let's go with that. And it's more of a almost a learning exercise, you know, a
yeah.
an exercise in play.
Well, that's going to be. I'm see. I still got it. That thing that
Yeah,
could see the I could see the untruth or the error in the
yeah,
statement.
the limitations. Yeah,
Anyway, I feel, woo, I just
you're all
feel
revved up. Yes, it's interesting. Maybe we're going to
got
collaborate,
that.
actually. I did feel like we may collaborate at some point, potentially around the effortless being. And that, okay, so that I'm sort of modeling being and you're modeling the manifestation.
Yes, I'd be open to it. I just want to. I've got one manifestation or a couple of manifestation things in the mail, in the
And the pipeline.
pipeline, and by Christmas I'll know. Um, I know now, but I'll know.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
thought,
and then I feel like I could have something to offer.
yeah.
You
Well, you
know,
could share it on the channel if you like. I'm sure people would love
I'll,
to see your journey.
I'll share. We'll do another one when the fruit falls off.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, collaboration. Maybe yes. I feel very privileged. I don't know. Don't feel special, Shirley.
Well, yeah,
Sorry.
no, it's not special. It's exciting, isn't it? The
Yeah,
potential.
and I've got no idea what it would do or be or anything, but
No.
but it does seem easy.
Yeah.
And
Effortless and easy.
you seem very perceptive and um, clear seeing. You see clear.
So I think I've been using wisdom all the way through my life. I was using the wisdom body already. David calls it the wisdom body in terms of koshas, because I would always ask the body for answers. I never used, I didn't rely on my conditioned mind. I'd always drop into the body for an answer and I would feel if it was right, sort of does it feel light or does it, to do something if I had a decision to make. So I was always using it and I was always giving people information. I always have the intuition when they were talking to me to let go of Collette. I'm talking it in these terms now. I didn't know what I was doing. It's just automatic. I would drop Collette and I would, as if I was a giant ear, and I would just listen to them, just open
That's
up.
all. That's all psychic is. You
Okay.
listening. You're open. Is that exactly what you were doing? Is exactly it. And you're not involved.
No,
It's just you become an open channel. Open. It's funny
good.
you used that channel today. You said, "It's my channel. Welcome to my
No, it made
channel."
me
I thought,
laugh because I saw the connection between channeling and YouTube channel, and it sort of made Infinite Being laugh that we are
yeah,
exactly. Because I suddenly saw the
exactly.
correlation. So I have felt like I could channel all my life. I've thought that was almost my first entry in. When I look back, I was channeling bliss when I was working as a beauty therapist. I used to be completely blissed out, and I was fully booked because I was just channeling bliss. When I would do the facials, I was in absolute bliss. When I was doing the massage, I was in absolute bliss. So I was channeling bliss. And then when I was a model, people would do my hair and makeup, and I would channel information for them because I was so relaxed because they were touching my. So again, I've only just noticed the correlation. When I'm doing the massage, I was so relaxed. When I'm doing the facials, I was so relaxed. And so when I'm in that relaxed state, then it just comes out. And then I also did spontaneous healing. And again, it was a matter of I would connect to my breath. And then I would know that in connecting to my breath, I would connect to them. And that there would just be this unity, which is unity consciousness. I just wasn't recognizing what I was doing. And then I would be using the meridians. I knew there were meridians, but I didn't know what they were. And then I would be doing acupressure, never trained. I was just doing things. I would take people really deep. I would use my voice to sound. It was all just spontaneous, but I can see we're all just channels of the divine, however it expresses. It's just a channel of what we are, but the physical, an appearing individual is like a is an instrument for the divine to experience itself. And this is just another another way of channeling. Just, the wisdom and
That's so beautiful. That one you can see we called it the river. You said the channel of infinite being all the way through. And the other thing is your body is kinetic. Your talents are feeling mode, kinetic.
yeah.
And I can even hear in your voice like you just went down and up. You went modulated. You went into your sexy voice. And it was
The depth. Yes, so I can drop down really into being and just be. So now I can feel how my whole body is starting to move. It's starting to claim the energy. There's some power that kicks in. So now I'm upright. I'm owning the sovereign being has dropped in. And then it's just a different way of operating and just
we're juicing up the power, baby.
we're taking ownership. We're stepping into our authority. Yeah.
I just see unlimited stuff happening. I do.
Well, I saw that I saw a flash and it was so quick. I saw everything all in one go and then it went like a bubble bursting. And there was something to do with our infinite potential, how unlimited we all are, and how I was sort of going to express that and share that, but it just burst. It was like it showed it me, the whole thing, and I got the word suprahuman. We're superhuman, not super, but suprahuman. That we have all of these abilities and they've just not come on board yet. We've just not been resonating to our full potential.
It's time. It's time for the yeah. It's time. It's super. You meant supre. Oh, it reminded me when kids have the big bubbles. They blow bubbles. Those wonderful bubble. I don't know if you have them in England.
But the giant
They're a
one.
lot. Yeah, and you just made this. Universal sort of recognition and it bursts. It's just like that. It's like the play. But anyway,
It's interesting, isn't
it's more than interesting.
it? But I love how we can operate on all these different levels. We don't have to be any particular way. We can be, it's not set as, oh, we're all being so spiritual. So these vehicles can just operate in all these, I'm seeing like all these different ways of how we can express. So we can be so, like on our half an hour introduction call, we were like firecrackers. I mean, we didn't stop. It was just
Yeah.
fireworks going off. And we were just bouncing off each other. Like you said, it was a tennis match and a firework, and then you fired off and then I fired off. It was just inspiration and expression, just spontaneous and just totally free. And but then you can see how we can just model effortless being, and it all dies down and we just drop into being. It's fascinating how we have all these different ways of expressing and we're not really
And
accessing them.
you just said the word fascinating. I got the facet. You know, a facet of a diamond,
Oh yeah.
you know, facets, all
Yes.
our different
Oh, all our
things.
different facets, because we're like a diamond and we can express in all these different ways, all these different facets of our being.
When you said fascinating, and that because we've been told, you know, not to be the bright, bubbly, changeable
Definitely.
wind. As women, we're told to be, you know,
Suppress anything other than behave properly.
I think now infinite being is going, let's unleash, you said the slipstream. Um,
And I think for men as well, so they've been taught that they have to be dominant, they have to be achieving, they have to, and for them, it's that open to receive. To that, for them, I think it's quite even harder to be in the effortless being because they're so used to be told they're the provider, we have these very set ways of how we feel we should be. And so I guess it's the divine feminine showing that receiving mode and that surrendering. I think for men, surrender is a very tricky thing because they're so used to feeling like they need to. It's waiting for the right word to charge forward and not, but to fight, to push through. And we're showing there's another way that it's the two ways. It's almost like giving birth, you have to surrender in order to be able to push. You can't push against, else it gets messy. We're rebirthing ourselves in a new way, in these superhuman ways. And there's this dance of allowing and and being the spark, the potential. But for that potential to grow, there's some relaxation that needs to take place.
I think massive. You're so right. And men have, everyone, but men have to be able to let go and just feel their vulnerability or whatever, that and just really go back to whatever the, the base or something.
Mm, mm. But I feel like what you're showing is that's where that bridge is because they feel like they can't let go. And I know what it's like, because everybody has to provide for their families, whether it's a man or a woman, we're in equal partnerships, or you're a single parent. So, or even just provide for yourself. So the bridge that I feel you're going to offer is that we can let go because there is another way. There is a more effortless way of providing for ourselves. And that's where I feel you come in. You offer this bridge, this way of how we do what where things do come to us, whereas we're used to having to go and get things. And this new way of being is that they come to us, but they come to us because of our where we're resonating, that we're resonating in gratitude and the pure
Yes,
potential. So it's the
yes, great.
the vehicle
Yeah,
resonating.
yeah. It's funny. A saying just came to me that I've loved. It said, "Trust in Allah, but tether your camel."
And what's your interpretation of that?
So what that means is like you're in the desert, and you know you've just got the stars, and your camel's just there. And you might think, oh, I can trust God to look after everything,
Yeah.
but
And you let your camel go. Yeah.
you yeah, but you so that thing if you're saying with the worldly, with the divine, you're saying well, we still pay the mortgage. Yeah, you still tether your camel,
Yeah.
but you trust. You trust. You still have to do the. There is, I think, there's a place for both.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah, there is. Yeah. It's almost like
it's also,
yeah.
I think I didn't say it right, but I think I explained
I think we got the
what it
gist
means.
of what you meant. Yeah, yeah. Of how we can apply it to being able to let go. Um, knowing. See, for me, I always feel there's a knowing that we can tap into that everything's going to be okay. So the trust for me isn't so much trusting in something else because we are that something else. We are we are the totality already. So we're, if we're trusting in anything, we're trusting in ourselves, in our true nature. And that is a knowing. And it's just recognizing that knowing that there's nothing apart from us. Um,
Just
so
said
everything's
that
already
it's all
here.
you being present now in it. That takes care of everything because we can only be now. You just reminded me. I was that you're in the presence of now. Everything's taken care of, isn't
Mm.
it?
It's already okay. We're already enough,
Yeah,
and it's already
you
okay.
just you demonstrated that to me just then. Yeah, and that sort of like spreads out like what's that horizontal? Like the horizontal spread of
It's the field of knowing.
yeah, and whatever you're meant to know, you know, all the when we get in our head, the head business or the head. No, there's no head business. I'm not going to entertain that. Yeah, I'm not going on that ride. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So this different ways of operating. There is just being, effortless being, and that everything comes to you because you're in the field of pure potential. Or we just limit that. And then we're in thought of how we're going to do something, how we're going to get it. But it is that the tuning fork that we are, these body minds that rest as the truth of our being. And it's effortless. But we so make it so complicated.
Not anymore.
No, because we're going to demonstrate it.
I wish you would go and listen to that song later on.
The step
That
by step.
I yes.
I'll try and link it below and there was something else you mentioned that I need to link. I don't know what it is. I'll look back.
Amanda's thing or
Oh,
no?
thank you. Yes, Amanda's video. Yeah, yeah.
I wish she would do more videos. She doesn't seem to do many.
Well, she has a job as well. She works in mental health. She's very talented in that area because she doesn't see them as having mental health. Not that she's denying what's appearing, but she sees them as infinite being, and so she has really good results with people because she meets them at effortless being, and then they're empowered.
Yes.
She doesn't.
Oh, and I think we were talking about that the other day. How you can see someone. I saw a woman in the supermarket with no. She was in a wheelchair with no, only her thighs and half an arm, one arm, and she had such a strong aura, about her. And she had and I thought the old me would have felt sort of some sort of compassion or something. I just saw infinite being there. I just felt the
Yeah, yeah,
strong, strong. Oh, I'm getting all goose pimples.
yeah.
Strong.
I've seen that. That it's infinite being. That's how infinite being is appearing. That's how it wants to appear. That's no good or bad, no right or wrong, no, in the bigger picture.
Yeah, so that's why I said my relationships have changed because I'm not seeing people lacking or missing or
And
need.
you're not lacking.
No, and I'm not playing that game anymore. I can see I did that to sort of fit in. I'm still probably got a. I'm not going to say that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. So you see it quickly now. when you're about to say something that's limited. You see it. Yeah.
When it's not true.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like I said,
that's right. Yeah, when it's not true. It's sort of a pattern of speech that you see through and you think, I'm not even going to say that.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's how all the conditioning drops away. It just appears to be seen and then it's not danced with and it doesn't reform.
I think being able to talk with somebody like, you and I, for me, this is so valuable because I don't have anybody here. I live in a
Yeah.
small country town, I suppose.
Mm.
Um,
Well, that's why I do my small groups because I would speak to somebody and they'd say, well, now what? And I think it's just so valuable to be able to sit in being and reflect back to each other because we're all learning. I learn in the groups.
so you have a group. See, I didn't know about that.
I have small groups. It's usually people who've seen me and then they say, what do I do now? And obviously, you don't have to, people keep coming back and paying for an hour. It's quite nice to put everybody together. So I do groups of 6 people because I like the intimacy of the small groups and how we can all grow together and we just reflect back infinite being.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it's lovely.
But I just want to say I find this has been so good, so valuable. This has been a real gift from you, Colette. I feel like, that I could have a one-on-one and say to you, this is what I need, you know. And I think that's why we had so much fun. I was so excited because I immediately knew, because we were having fun, that
Ah,
that
yeah.
was it, you know. Um, it did something. It sort of it just set my heart uh, at ease.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about it just to them, but I tried to find the feeling of it. Um, because I don't think I really thanked you for that session. Um,
Oh, I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did.
but it means more than you will probably ever know, I think.
Oh,
So
oh.
don't ever say again that you were the second best for David, because,
I was only joking with that. It was all perfect.
yeah.
All perfect. David's gorgeous, isn't he?
Yeah, and I got an email back from him finally, or not from him, but for somebody
Oh, did you
that.
after you'd sort of given surrendered to not seeing him?
And then I wrote back and I said, "Oh, it's okay. I've realized now, and I'm just in integration mode." That's what I
Yeah,
said.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Contacted you and watching his videos and it's just because I got so much, so as I said, click, 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 and
Yeah.
can't,
You just needed
can't
it. You're lapping up the yeah,
that's it.
yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
Well,
We've done an hour and a half. Sorry, I can't stop laughing. Well, I'll have quite a lot of editing to do, I think, only because it's quite handy to give people about an hour. I think I'll edit out some of our bits and bobs.
look, if they have to watch a long video, they can put it
From
on
what?
speed.
Oh, so interesting, isn't it?
Well, it's just that I I'm just being given permission to be me,
Beautiful.
and
That's what it is, isn't it? Yeah.
it's also like our you and I got that free flow. That's just yeah, infinite intelligence is having the fun. Thank you for asking me to do this. And
Oh, yeah, it was spontaneous. It was just beautiful. Beautiful
oh,
connection I feel we have.
I'm going to make a cup of tea now.
Okay,
All
so
right.
thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.